Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Toon Review for tonight's TTR Friday, the very best way to start your weekend. And we actually, all four of us are here tonight for the first time in a while on TTR Friday. So we will be challenged to, the hosts will be challenged to Billy's quiz a bit later on, of course. But if you do enjoy tonight, please do, as usual, give it the like. And if you are new and like what you see, please subscribe, free to do so. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to let you know when we schedule our live shows or we upload any recordings. And of course, you can become a member of the Toon Review if you do so wish by hitting that join button just underneath us. And finally, of course, you can donate to the channel by all means if you want to by hitting that $ at the bottom of the live comments. And that will guarantee your comments to be read out on the show as well. Now, we will be inviting you to come on, as usual, on a Friday night and have your say on all things Newcastle United. We are going to ask you some quiz questions again to win some prizes. But just to all the members from next week, we've got some great member prizes to give away as a thank you for supporting the channel, of course. Good evening to the squad.
Good evening to one and all the viewers.
Howdy.
How are we all doing? Are we groovy? Are we cool on this Friday evening?
Wow, retro. Yeah, good.
Well, I mean, don't sound too enthusiastic, guys, will you? I mean,
jealous of all the European football yesterday and the fact that we're not still in it.
Yes, I mean, it is quite annoying that two of the teams in our group have made the Champions League semi-finals. That goes to show how well we actually did, by the way. I do want to start off with some good news. Good news is that, of course, if you haven't seen already, Bruno is in the process of buying a new house in Darras Hall, which means he's going nowhere. And this is welcome news, because if he was going away in the summer, why would he spend all the money buying, not renting, by the way? He is buying a house in Darras Hall. And it's fab news, Alex.
It is. I mean, it just makes it pretty unlikely now, doesn't it? It's definitely a nice bit of news. It doesn't mean it's 100%, but I would say it damn near makes it sort of 90, 95. It's right up there, because you're not going to commit. I think the price that's been banded by Luke Edwards is 4 million-ish, somewhere like that. So I think that means he's probably staying. I appreciate when you've got that much money and you've got people like delegates who can help you. You can probably move quite quickly and sort things out. However, you wouldn't do that unless there was.
You wouldn't do that like a month before the end of the season, when this,
probably a family decision, and it means they've probably decided we may not be here forever, but we're at least going to be here for the foreseeable future, and we want to kind of settle a little bit. They've got the kids as well now, so yeah.
And of course, Billy, if we do start challenging at the right end of the table, getting to Europe regularly, there's going to be no reason for Bruno to up and leave urgently, is there? Because we want, he wants European football, he wants to challenge for things, and hopefully we can start giving them that.
Well, I'm sure he'll have been kind of told by the people in the hierarchy of the club that how ambitious we are when he signed, and that hasn't changed any. We've had a season of a taste of a season in the Champions League. I think that's going to be something that we aim for next season. Obviously, it's the higher in the table, the better for us. But he's dedicating himself to this club and city. It's great to hear. He obviously gets it. He gets the city. He gets the fans. He gets the culture of the northeast of Tyneside, and he's bought into that hook, line, and sinker, as far as I can see. And by buying a house now, what with all this kind of talk about him having a release clause, this, that, and the other. I mean, he could have bought a house 2 years ago, couldn't he, when he signed? But he didn't. He's waited and waited. Why would he buy one now? Yeah. To me, it tells me he's staying absolutely 100%.
Yeah, Sam, what do you think? Because I'm pretty sure now. I mean, 99.5% certain. I mean, it'd be astounding if he up and left a month after buying a very nice house in Darras Hall.
Well, this is it. It's such welcome news. I think it's really great timing for us as well as fans before the summer break. It's brilliant. You're absolutely right. Why would he make that investment if he was going to up sticks? Alex mentioned there as well, he's obviously got family here. He's looking to obviously get them settled and things as well. So I just think it's a real testament to the area, to the culture, to the fans here. He's absolutely adored. And yeah, I'm so thrilled that he's staying, because I've got no doubt at all that when we onboard any fans, they're aware of our project and ambitions, where we want to go. And I think obviously we've done a really good job of sort of selling the dream, selling the project to him, which is, you know, put it into the investment and money where the mouth is. He's buying a house. Get in.
It's one thing to note, Paul, as well, is obviously there's the release clause of 100 mil, which stays at that. I'm assuming regardless of how long is left on his contract. So it doesn't matter. Like if anybody does decide to trigger that in a year or two, that's fine. We basically get still really good value for a shorter contract, which is great.
There was never, or there certainly hasn't ever been mentioned of a timescale on that release clause. It's just in with the contract, I think. Tangy, some really sad news. His dog Archie is sadly no longer with us. He was put to sleep on Monday. We are devastated. He gave us so much unconditional love for 10 years. R.I.P. my little feather. Tangy, so sorry to hear that, matey. And, you know, I lost Elsie a few months back now. But what I will say is you'll always have the memories, matey. And if you're a dog person, I'm sure you'll want to give one another home in time when the dust has settled. But listen, our thoughts go out to you, matey. I know how painful it is. It's not nice. But the Toon Review squad will rally round you. Don't worry about that. And just keep your head up, matey, as best you can through a difficult time. Now, what I do want to talk about as well is the knobheads I'm not sure who's to blame for this. I mean, Alex, you went on a good rant about this last night on the show regarding these FA Cup replays being scrapped. And I've seen a lot of lower league teams and non-league teams come out and express their absolute anger and upset at all of this. As what's going on. And again, for me, it's just it just tells the world that the big so-called six, the cartel, who we know for a fact had a major say in this. They always do. A lot of managers have come out. I think the latest one was Sheffield United's manager. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's gone. Chris Wilder. Yeah, he's come out and said that, you know, that these big clubs will control football for the foreseeable future. And I think it's absolutely shocking. I agree with everything that Alex said last night and Billy said about it. It's an absolute stink, the way they've dealt with this. But they have released another statement. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll read it out as well. I mean, to me, it's just sort of, it's pathetic, if you ask me, but here you go. We have listened to the concerns expressed over the last 24 hours and would like to outline the approval process which was undertaken for the 24-25 professional game football calendar. We have been discussing the calendar for the 24-25 season with the Premier League and EFL for well over a year. Removing Emirates FA Cup replays was discussed in the early meetings and all parties accepted that they could not continue. The discussions then focused on how to make all of our competitions stronger despite having fewer changes available and wanting to maintain player welfare. The changes to the Emirates FA Cup achieve this by returning it to a weekend competition on every round and ensuring that we have exclusive broadcast slots in an increasingly congested calendar. To clarify, we've also increased the number of Emirates FA Cup matches that will be broadcast in the early rounds, which will lead to additional guaranteed broadcast revenue for EFL and National League teams. Additionally, we review the prize money annually and the competition together with the representatives from the EFL and Premier League, and will do the same for the 24-25 season. The calendar for next season was approved by the Professional Game Board, which consists of 4 EFL representatives and 4 Premier League representatives last month, and then by the FA Board, which includes Premier League, EFL, National Game and grassroots representation. This is the process we undergo every year to approve the calendar. And finally, we understand the concerns expressed over the last 24 hours, and we will be sharing more details with clubs very shortly to explain the additional revenue opportunities in the early rounds. We will keep this under review as the new calendar begins to ensure that EFL and National League clubs do not lose out. Alex?
Well, they've just proved that they just didn't listen at all. The fact that they're banging on about the fact that representation have been involved in this process is nonsense. The fact that you've got professional club statements being banded around Twitter from Leyton Orient, from Tranmere, from teams across the pyramid who are basically saying, We don't know about this. We've got no idea what's gone on here. Surely they should know internally that there is a representative of sorts for their league or something. Like they have no knowledge of this. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe that all of these clubs are wrong and naive and they've all missed it. I can't believe that. I can't believe that they've all dropped the ball and it's the FA that are in the right. It's just not possible. All of these clubs have boards, they have lawyers, they have structure, they have process. They haven't all missed this. Not a chance. It's just representation. I'm hating this term, but I'm finding myself using it more and more. It's arbitrary lines in the sand drawn by people in offices to suit the needs of certain clubs / people. And it's scandalous the fact that we're not privy to. They've quoted 33 million additionally that will be kind of used. That's nowhere near going to cover it if that's going to be put throughout the entire football pyramid. We're not going to be privy to the breakdowns. It's about the FA Cup, and it doesn't even make sense. It's scrapped replays from the first round. Premier League teams don't enter until the third round.
Exactly. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
Yep.
It's beyond logic. Again, people need firing. It's disgusting. You haven't listened to anything. Heads need to roll. And I don't like saying that because it's a bit violent and it is an expression, but people need sacking. It's absolutely beyond a joke at this point. You can't just put out a second statement and go, oh, sorry, we'll change a couple of things. No. Absolutely abhorrent. Scrap the whole lot. Revert it back to what it was. Just tell the TV broadcasting companies they can just do the coverage of the midweek games. They don't have to be at a weekend. We don't have to bow to the TV companies. Football's for the people.
But they will, because that's where the money is and that's all they care about. And that's just proving it for me. Dr. House, thank you for being a member for 13 months on the channel. Much appreciated. Hey, everyone, I agree with Alex 100%. And Chris Lynch, thank you for your super chat. Minty is like a quicker sacker of Arsenal. A Dutch podcaster has stated and thinks he will not return to Feyenoord next season. Interesting one.
John, the heartbreaking thing about this all is for me.
Yeah.
The oldest domestic cup competition and the most famous in the world is being basically ruined by corporate means. It's all about sponsors, TV companies, not to do with the working class man that goes and watches it working class person that goes week in, week out. It's not about them at all. It's about money. And the FA Cup was never about money. It was about the glory of winning the cup competition, the silver trophy at the end of it. Even before European football came, it was when Newcastle United last won it, 1955. It was about winning the silver trophy that was the most famous trophy in the world. Not just in England, in the world. In
the world,
except for the World Cup.
Well, you look at the TV viewings back in the 80s and early 90s, Billy. I mean, even the 70s for that matter. The TV viewings from FA Cup Day were monumental. And I remember sitting there on FA Cup final day, no matter if Newcastle weren't in it, but you used to have it from literally 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. You used to have the players leaving the hotel, the cameras were on the buses, you got the whole build up to the game, and it was treated as that special, really magical cup final. And that's what, and I don't know how they get that back, especially doing all this. I mean,
it's television. You literally had 2 live games a season on TV.
Yeah,
you had the England-Scotland game and the FA Cup final. They were the only ones, unless it was a crucial World Cup qualifier.
What they don't seem to understand is this.
Doing it.
Yeah,
it raises the level of the competition. It incentivizes the lower quality teams in lower leagues to try harder, to at least draw or try and go for a result, to force another fixture, because it's more money for the club. It's more exposure for the team. It's more money for the club. It means they can survive at lower levels.
Yeah.
So, Luton were benefactors of this, as were Brentford. Thomas Frank's been involved in a lot of nonsense about fixture congestion. Brentford, I'm pretty sure, were lower down in the leagues when they had some favourable FA Cup runs that did them the world of good financially, and now they're in the Premier League. So, that was part of their process of growth, as I'm sure it was for a lot of them. And it makes sense for the lower league clubs. They want to try and get a draw or a win, which makes it more competitive because they get the replay, they get more money, they get more football. Whereas now, what are they playing for? Just to be dumped out anyway? Like, They've not even got that chance of maybe having another. It's just go straight to pens.
It's wrong. Charles, thank you for being a member for 27 months. He says, I hope we get Shesko. That would mean mend a lot of problems, to be fair. Sam, what's your view on it? Because obviously we haven't heard your view on it yet. So what do you think of all this?
Do you know what? I'm a huge fan of history. And I think decisions like this spoil history of the past and jeopardize the future at the same time. It doesn't look like any consultation has been had. That's come from the clubs themselves saying that they haven't received any communication in regards to this, no matter what that statement is that they've actually published.
Sam, they've only got 4 of the EFL teams out of the 72. 4.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's absolutely ridiculous, and it takes away the magic. Alex just referenced as well those teams that could be encouraged to have a shot and make it worthy, because the replay is that boost of revenue generation, which changes the course of clubs' histories. So actually taking that additional time out and getting rid of that replay, it's so detrimental to clubs. And as we've mentioned before, like the pure occasion of it, you're absolutely right, Paul, like having it on from first thing, the build up, it's an occasion, and it's changing the course of football history here in the UK. I think it's a real shame. It's money driven, which I think is so sad to take that opportunity away, but actually changing the history of it as well is really, really annoying. And again, it's just benefiting those top sides. It's what you've got one shot. And that's it, lads. Tough.
And I think, if you look to next season, I think TNT have got it next season. So, it's
that's
taken
right.
away. It's not even going to be on domestic TV anymore. It's bullshit, right? The whole thing. The people's love of the FA Cup. And Billy, we'll remember, maybe Sam will remember, Alex is a bit too young. I don't know. But, Sutton United, Yeovil Town. You remember all these cup runs, Billy? Even Stevenage when they played Newcastle.
1997, Chesterfield got semi-finals, and it saved their club.
Exactly, it saved them. They got a new ground through it, Billy. They managed to, I think it's Saltergate was their old ground, wasn't it? And they've gone to the new ground now because of that money. And look, Sutton United and Yeovil Town, their popularity went through the roof when they went on cup runs. You look at Blythe back in the day. Blythe went on cup runs, and you're taking the opportunity of giving these players as well. If they get a home game against one of the big boys and they get a draw, you're taking it all away from them. A chance to play at a big football stadium and stuff like that.
Not even like National League though, or National. You're talking. Yeah,
but the whole magic's gone. It's disappearing completely out the window. And I think for them to come out, listen, we know who runs football now. We're not stupid. Fans are not stupid. Every fan in England knows who runs English football.
I think the Big Six are still, the fans of the Big Six clubs are still a bit naive on that point.
Yeah, they are. But I mean everybody else, Alex. You know what I mean? We all know that the Big Six have their say and they will be listened to. The FA don't run football anymore because I think the Premier League run football. The FA just bow down to the Premier League now because they're frightened of clubs buggering off into a Super League. But quite frankly, the way I feel now about all this FA Cup rubbish is I just really wish that these Big Six would sod off to the Super League and we go back to Divisions 1 to 4 again, like the old days, and have a competitive football league again without these money-grabbing bastards, right? Get them out of football, get them into Super League, sod them off from English football, because if you don't want to be there, don't be here. Go away. Just rot away somewhere. And let football in England get back to how it was, because it's just so much is now being taken away, and it's shite.
They don't deserve the positions anyway.
The Carabao Cup is just valuable these days because it's a European place, and that's all the FA Cup is these days.
But the thing is, the League Cup used to be huge over here as well. Everybody used to take the League Cup seriously.
It wasn't as big as the FA Cup, there was it?
No, never as big as the FA Cup, Billy, obviously. But teams used to go for it, though.
Well, they did, yeah. Yeah, they did.
But even the Super League, to a point, the teams that were in that Tottenham, I don't know how snuck into that anyway. Shouldn't be in that. Juventus are now not as relevant towards the top of Serie A at all. The last few years has been dominated by Inter, AC Milan, and Napoli, who obviously won. You've got Roma doing quite well. Juventus are not the top dogs at all. You've got Bayer Leverkusen, wasn't involved in the Super League conversation, who are now 44 games unbeaten and the Bundesliga champions. Like it's an absolute farce. We do have some breaking news, by the way, which is because it's TTR Friday. I'm sure Paul will let me off on this one. He might have seen it, possibly. I don't know if this is true. There you go. There it is. I might need to fact check this.
Who's he?
Alex, do you want to say who he is? Just read
So,
the comment.
breaking news just in, guys, on TTR Friday. Apparently, Darmstadt have signed Finn Lackenmacher.
You've got to put come on, Alex. You've got to do better than that. That's not the pronunciation. There you go.
I need to confirm.
You've got to get the.
Are Darmstadt in the Bundesliga now, or did they drop down?
I thought they got relegated again. I think they were in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, that's a big upgrade for him as a player because he was in the.
Because he's absolutely shite, Alex. It's a huge upgrade for him, to be fair.
Well, he did fine against Jamal Lascelles, didn't he?
Well, yeah, well, yes, and you let the world know about that. Channel Right, thank you for your super chat. I remember Blythe Spartans Cup run; it was very special. Dan Robinson, thank you for yours. Why are we even surprised by this? Because of all these American owners and the big shits, we're lucky that every match isn't a pay-per-view for £30-40. Yeah, that's a good. That'll be next, though. That will be next.
Yeah, definitely.
It just no doubt about it.
Just on Spurs being in the Super League kind of shout, it's the equivalent really of me walking into the Crucible and popping a pound on the side of the table to have a game.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
I've seen a comment come in before saying Mark Goldbridge agrees with the decision to scrap replays. I think he was trying to make a point as well of the fact that there's still a blackout of 3 p.m. games. So make of that what you will. So I think he was sort of comparing the stuff. But I can't see. I don't see why any fan would back this. To be honest, I really don't. Carl says
of us going to Japan, by the way, for pre-season.
Oh no, I've seen that. Yeah,
so we can go to Japan, but we can't play a replay.
Yeah, but it's like going to Australia. I mean, it's meant. The whole thing is just so hypocritical. It really is. It's hypocritical. I blame Jurgen Klopp. I don't know why. I just blame Jurgen Klopp. Why not? Why the hell not?
Why not, Paul? I mean, I kind of want to put a question back to everybody because I appreciate we early in the season had that run of games where it was just sort of put down to fixture congestion and all of this, and it's putting too much pressure on players, and that's kind of for me being a bit of a scapegoat with this, like, oh, we have to look after people. I don't feel like they care about the health and well-being of players playing multiple fixtures. It's very, very clear why this is being brought in, and it's definitely down to revenue. But I think what's confusing to me is, like, again, we're talking about Newcastle. I think there's been news out to say that we're not going to America or something. I didn't see a great deal of the article, but then we're going to Japan. Like it's one of those things where how can we put this decision down to looking after players and fixture congestion when actually we're still going off and going to all these other countries because we know that's going to generate more revenue for us. So
it's all about money, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It's completely about money. And Japan, you know what money it'll absolutely be huge. Let's not, we've got to be honest here. It's massive revenue going to Japan for pre-season because there'll be thousands of football fans come to watch any sort of Premier League team. It's just...
Oh, I've just got images of like Matt Ritchie and Paul Dummett trying to do like a Japanese promotion or something. It's going to be real.
He's trying to be ninjas and do karate and all that kind of stuff.
Like you, Paul.
Absolutely, Sam. Absolutely. Josh, good evening or good afternoon over there in Philly. Listen, I get blaming us Yanks, but still they accept our money. So I do feel a little peeved getting crucified for the FA's greed. We're not blaming it all on the Yanks. Certain owners, let's be clear about that. It's certain owners. But I'm glad, Josh, that you accept us calling you Yanks. That's fine by me. Right, we're going to put the link up to join us on TTR Friday for you guys to have your say very shortly. But first, it's time for this.
Oh my God! What is that?
Sweeter than molasses. She got gliss on my wrist like a maverick. She a rich little bitch with some baggage.
It's, of course, Sam's Whine. Take it away.
Alrighty. So not sure how many of you actually saw this, but 17th of April, TalkSport, who else? Simon Jordan. Coming to his own defence actually this time, as ever, justifying his opinions. This specific debate was over Chelsea selling 2 of their Stamford Bridge hotels, 76.5 million to accommodate the FFP rules. Now, Newcastle, how are we involved in all of this? Well, we were brought into the debate for selling players to the same Saudi-owned clubs, exploiting the very same loophole that Chelsea have done. Simon Jordan calling Saudi potential idiots in the initial club-to-club selling show, and later arguing that it was much, much easier to establish a fair market price for real estate than it is a player, saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. He was going on about the context of Saudis ripping apart English football. Now, this is all in the reference, Alex, close your ears, to the sale of Maxi for 30 million. Now, my personal opinion on this is we were shortchanged for Maxi, and that deal was actually deemed to be fair market value by Premier League, by independent assessors as well. So the suggestion that Newcastle United have been somewhat underhand and exploited the loophole for FFP rules that we know benefit the cartel, but that doesn't seem to apply to his thinking when it comes to Chelsea, because apparently you can go on Zoopla and establish the price of bricks and mortar, but obviously his statement isn't the same for players. Now, we obviously know that that is ridiculous, and again is, diluted media favouring other clubs over Newcastle, but it just really pissed me off because it almost devalues how we actually rate and assess players based on what their talent is worth. We can't just say, right, well, this is how much we want to charge for a player and you can either pay it or you don't play it. No, there's obviously a game of back and forth, and we have to establish what a player is worth based by their performance on the field and what their capabilities are. So I just think it's ridiculous that, we're going into this where Chelsea's apparently allowed to do this, but again, Newcastle United aren't. I don't know how you feel about that, Paul.
Well, look, I mean, I've had my say on Simon Jordan a lot of times on this channel, Sam, and I've actually, tried to invite him on a few times, get him on, and for grown-up questions, not just to batter him, but I don't know. I don't think he'd ever have the ball to do a Newcastle United program, to be honest. I really don't. And I just think, some of the things I actually agree with him sometimes. I think to myself, he does talk a little bit of sense. And then the next day, he just goes completely off on the other end. And I think it's just typical of TalkSport. I mean, especially defending Chelsea to sell the hotels and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't know what he gets at times. It just does me head in. And I know he does a lot of people's head in. Sometimes he speaks all right. Sometimes he's just a dick. But I totally agree with you, Sam. Totally agree.
Well, his entertainment factor, right? And I agree with you, Paul.
Yeah,
some things I don't disagree with. We're not always going to all agree. This isn't like a happy clappy world. It's simply not. But I think what I just couldn't get my head around is that it's okay for Chelsea to do, but conversely for Newcastle that it's not. And I understand obviously it's the club to club selling, but it is a loophole nonetheless that I think is our ownership are shrewdly doing to protect ourselves for FFP. If the FFP rules weren't as they are, we wouldn't have to look for loopholes to exploit, but we're in the position that we are in. We've got a very, very smart board who are implementing the rules and looking for these things that we can do to help our revenue streams. So I hate the fact that we're comparing bricks and mortar to somebody's talent, which can be arguably unmeasurable given the right management and given the right team around them.
Yep, indeed. Well said, Sam. Brilliant point of view again.
I mean, it's worse than double standards because, as someone just said there, we undersold Maxi by £15 million.
Yeah.
They've overinflated the value of their property by almost double. It's scandalous that they're doing that to get rid of FFP.
Yeah,
Billion in the past 2 years and put them on 8-year contracts, all that. They've banned them now, strangely enough, after Chelsea have done it to about 10 players. So it's ridiculously over double standards. It's worse.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's so blatant as well. Like, who's policing this?
It's not even the worst thing, sadly. It's not even close to the worst thing. The Chelsea debt and the FFP that just got reset because they just changed owners, to me, is just the fact that this isn't talked about really anymore. It's just people have just moved on and said, yeah, they got a clean slate and yeah, they've spent £1 billion, as if it's just fine. I feel like if we did that, we would never, ever, ever hear the end of it. There would be global, not just English, there would be global outcries that we've just broken sport. But when Chelsea do it, it's absolutely fine. And across Europe and across the world, there is examples of this. It's rife everywhere. I mean, one of your favourites, Paul, Benjamin Šeško, for example, going from Salzburg to Leipzig. He's gone from a Red Bull team to a Red Bull team. It actually only cost them 24 million because they just paid themselves, essentially, even though they separate entities. Yeah. Do we really think that Šeško in that market was worth 24 million? I think he was worth double that at least, considering the potential he's got and the ability he's got. So there's just examples, whether you talk about Chelsea getting a free hit for just seemingly reasons because Boris Johnson said, oh dear, like, okay. And so, again, I'm going to say it again. People are going to get bored of it. Random, arbitrary lines in sand. It's nonsense. We're just making rules up at this point. Yep. It's nonsense.
It is. Right, let's bring a couple of guests on, shall we? We've got Peter and we've got Daniil again. Good evening, fellas.
He's all right.
Good evening, lads.
Not too bad. Chappers, thank you for your super chat. Simon lived in the Dorchester for 10 years. Interesting. Right. What's your point tonight, Pete?
Oh, I think we've got to discuss the women's game on Sunday.
Yes. Well, we did do that in quite some detail on Wednesday, Peter. I don't know whether you saw the show, but it was.
Yes, I did.
It was a brilliant show. Yeah.
Go on, let's do it again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go.
Don't listen to Paul.
Bugger me. Yes, doesn't matter what I say.
Just fantastic. It was one of the biggest crowds at ever at Kingston Park, and it was just great to be there. 10-0 win as well, scoring pretty much straight after kickoff within 10 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
Just what a way. And the trophy celebrations at the end were incredible.
Oh, magnificent. Yeah.
With Darren Eales, Mia Dad, and of course Amanda as well. Just fantastic.
Should we play it, Sam?
Oh, play it.
Should we play it? The homage to the women that we played on Wednesday night. Here you go, folks. Some of you might not have seen this, but here you go. So again, a massive well done to Becky and the lasses. Championies, and can't wait for next season because it looks like that is where my season ticket is going to be next season. Because I still haven't heard back from Newcastle United nearly 3 weeks on, and I think that's absolutely disgusting. And I feel very let down by the club that I actually love. But that's for another day. They've just gone from strength to strength. So there, Daniil, good evening. What's your point?
Yeah, good evening. About this, this transaction that Chelsea have done with the hotels, right?
Yeah.
First of all, that should not form part of any FFP calculation because it's got nothing to do with football and operations. Yeah. It's group activity, but it's got nothing to do with football and operations because the transaction itself is because I work in accountancy, so I'm just sorry if I'm getting a bit technical. The transaction itself is of a capital nature, and as Alex alluded to just mentioned before that, it just emphasises what the total force, the financial rules are in our game. There's no concrete about them. They're like blue tack molded to, sort of rubbed around the fingers just to suit themselves. And really, the way I look at our game, especially the Premier League, there's an establishment at play with these top six clubs. And if they've got their own little establishment going. Basically, if you're part of that establishment, you're all right. But if you're not, then you're in there. Then you're in trouble, so to speak. You're not on. You're in choppy waters. That's how I see things.
Yeah. Chappers, thank you very much for your super chat. Can you rub some of that on the Falcons? Anyway, Daniil, you've got a bit of a dodgy connection, matey. So we'll ask you your quiz questions before we leave you. Are you ready for your first question? Right, here we go. Newcastle's biggest league victory was a 13-0 win against which club? Fulham, Newport County, Manchester City, or Nottingham City?
Newport County.
It was indeed Newport County. Well done. Right, you've got to answer this and you win a prize. Your next question is, St. James's Park is the 10th largest soccer stadium in England. Is that true or false?
Whoa. Can we rephrase that?
No.
I think we need to, actually. I agree with Alex here.
Why?
Soccer stadium.
Yank.
I'll ask the question again. Hey, everybody! Here's a question for you, Daniil. Is St. James's Park is the 10th largest soccer stadium in England? Is it true or is it false?
I'm going to say false.
It is false, my man. You won a prize right here on 97.2 USA FM. Well done, my friend. Right, Daniil, email us your address, matey. We'll get you a prize in the post.
And apologies to all our American fan base out there.
There was nothing wrong with that accent.
Appalling impression.
There's absolutely not. That was a good American impression. Daniil, send me your address, matey, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, man. Thanks. All right. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
If everybody fast forward to 40 minutes into the stream as well, because Paul revealed his quiz book, so you can go and screenshot it and then figure out all the questions.
Are you encouraging cheating?
He is, Sam. Yeah, but that's typical coming from him, isn't it?
We've been hearing too much Chelsea talk. It just
bollocks to that.
This is it.
Dan, welcome to the show.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, loud. By the way, Claire, thank you very much. There you go. Claire knows her stuff. It was a good impression, Paul. Thank you very much. I expect Josh will be on shortly just to shout me down. We do have another very special guest. No, that's not real. I'm looking at somebody in the green room.
It might be.
That's not real. That can't be real.
It's funny how he knows exactly who we're talking about as well.
To one of the hosts. Tom Lynch says, if it was a real American radio station, it would be called something like Wank. W-A-N-K!
Oh, we
97.5! Hey!
It's Friday!
Oh, my God. Dear me. Chapter says, can you ask Billy who is on the T-shirt he wears, gone but not forgotten?
It's Angry Grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, a YouTuber who passed away a few years ago, but he's quite funny.
Yes.
Angry man.
Right. Well, Claire says, as a Canadian who was bombarded with US TV shows, it was a good impression. Thank you. Sam doesn't know anything, right?
Don't encourage him, people. How
Now, there's a guy in the green room, like I say, who is closely related to one of the hosts on this show. And I'm struggling to see if it's real or not, because from a distance, he looks like Alan Shearer crossed with Merv Hughes, the cricketer. But anyway, let's bring him on. It is Sam's dad, Mr. Bradley. Good evening.
Hiya, how you doing, everybody?
Hi, Dad.
Look, can I just say I apologise for whatever I've said or what I'm going to say, because I've been in the pub all afternoon. Okay,
that's fine. It's not. It's not. Ian, it's not a Take That concert, mate. You're all right. Don't worry.
An advance apology doesn't sound good, though. Howie.
Well, no, it doesn't. Right, Peter, have you got a show tonight?
I do, yes.
Right. So get across there when we finish. Quiz questions, my man. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Let me just find my. Right, here we go. How many games did the club win in its first season in the Football League second division? Was it 7, 12, 15 or 20?
It's a guess, sorry, 15?
It was 15. Yes, Peter, well done.
Oh,
you lucky twat. Anyway, moving on to your second question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking that. I'm not asking that.
Oh.
What is it? How many stripes have been on every kit ever?
No. The actual question that was up next, which isn't the actual official question, Peter, is the Tangy derby is a rivalry between Newcastle and which club? You can kiss my ass if that's going to be your second question. Here is your actual question. It is, who is the oldest player to make an appearance for the club at 44 years and 225 days? Is it Stuart Pearce, Steve Harper, Pavel Cernacek, or Billy Hampson?
Billy Hampson.
Oh, for God's sake, you're right. There you go. That's Peter winning. Peter, send us your address, mate. He will get that in the post for you, buddy.
Well done.
All right.
Guesses completely.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. You've won, mate. Yeah. So send us your address across, bud.
No problem, will do.
See you later.
See you, Pete.
So that was Pete. He's on at 8 o'clock or just after this show finishes. By the way, we're going to get Dan's view and then we'll bring Ian in because I think Ian's got a story for us involving Sunday. Yeah. So we'll get that in as well. Dan, what's your point tonight, buddy?
I just wanted to say that I think with everything that's going on in the Premier League at the minute, we're just going to have to get our heads down and knuckle under. We know for a fact that most of the changes that have come in this season is to stop us. But look at what's happened this season. The whole terrain of the Premier League starting to change. Chelsea have dropped off. Man United, nothing, nobody.
Yeah.
And on top of that, even Spurs aren't looking too good at the minute. And with the run of teams we've got versus them, they've still got Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City to go. And with the top three runnings being that close, they're going to go at them with everything they've got. Throw Chelsea into the mix as well. Mm-hmm. Spurs could be dropping 12 points and seeing themselves go out of European football to us. And then you look at everything that's happened with Villa and West Ham this season. Yeah. Big Six just ain't the Big Six anymore. It's just three. The rest are getting knocked out left, right and centre.
Yeah.
So everything at the minute is to maintain the status quo, but you can't do it. They're not going to be able to do it. They can't keep going like this. So eventually things are going to change, and everything will just have to get rid of. Soon, with everything that's going on with Newcastle, with the sponsorships, with our international deals, growing the brand identity and everything, we'll be up there, whether they want us to or not. They've done everything they could this season to stop us.
Yeah.
And despite everything, despite dodgy calls, bad reffing decisions, favourable decisions in games, the FFP, they're trying to stop, affiliated club trading and things like that. Where are we? We're still 6th. And we could easily end up 5th at this rate.
Yeah.
That's with the injuries, everything we've been through this season. We were 4th last season. We could be 5th this season. We're sending a message out to the Premier League that the Big Six's days are over.
Yep, absolutely.
Chelsea spent over £1 billion in, you work it out, they spent like something like a couple of £100,000 per point they've earned this season.
Yep. You're completely right. It's a very, very good point, Dan. Absolutely, 100% well said. Dave Telford says, I feel inspired to work on my facial hair. Magnificent. Simply magnificent, Sam's dad.
I was going to say, is that mine? Thank you.
Joe Robinson is also in the chat. Joe says, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but Sam's dad looks like a younger version of Amos from Emmerdale Farm in the day. I remember Amos. Yes. What a tash that was. Give over.
It was Seth anyway.
What's this? This man might be Christian Bale. Handsome gentleman. Christian Bale? Gordon Bennett. I mean, some people have really had too much to drink on a Friday. Anyway, Dan, your questions.
Oh, go on, let me make a tit of myself then.
Which club makes up the other? I'm not even watching this. Which other club makes up the Tyne Tees derby? Anyway,
Paul, you selected it. Ask him it.
No. The fastest recorded goal scored by a Newcastle player was 11 seconds. True or false?
True.
He's having to look.
It is true.
Wasn't it like Alan Shearer?
You should know
against
that.
Manchester City. Yes, it was. Your next one is, how many matches did the squad draw in the 2003-04 domestic league? Was it 17, 12, 10, or 6?
12.
It's incorrect. It was 17. Oh, Dan, you broke the streak for winners. You broke the streak. But thanks for coming on, buddy.
See you all later.
Cheers.
Mate, your questions, honestly. How many eyelashes did Alan Shearer have in his left eye when he scored his goal against Everton?
Alex, how many knuckles will strike your face when I punch you next time I see you?
Anyway, no idea, mate. Probably 64.
Right. We are going to get on to Mr. Bradley's story very, very shortly. He just seems to have frozen a little bit there in a very interesting... he's back. But anyway, it's time for this one first. It is, of course, Shame by Stato. Who are you shaming this week?
I don't know if it's shame. I don't know if shame's the right word. I want to have a little chat. I've changed my mind, by the way, because I told all these guys backstage what I was doing and I've U-turned. So they don't know what I'm about to talk about.
Oh.
I think it's going to be funny. I want to talk about Stephen Taylor because it's hilarious.
Oh.
So a little bit of shame. So for those of you who haven't heard, there was a club in the UAE that did a huge promotional video today about who their new manager was going to be. They spent loads of money. They got this great big Mercedes luxury van out in the desert. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Mourinho steps out? Who is it? Stephen Taylor steps out in a tux, of all people. The legend, as they've called him, absolutely hilarious. Some people might think, oh, he's gone for the money. He's gone to one of the top sides in the UAE. Not really. So it's Gulf United FC. They're in the second tier of Emirati football, so they're not even in the top division. They are third from bottom, winless in the last 5 matches. They probably won't get relegated. But yeah,
you're talking about Sunderland here.
Well, yeah, it might as well be.
They beat Sunderland 4-0 last on the play.
Just such a weird move from Stephen Taylor. I mean, the man is just up for a laugh.
Of course he is.
He finished with us and he went to Portland, Ipswich, Peterborough, Wellington in Blooming. No, they're not in Oz, are they? They're New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
New Zealand. Yeah. And then he went to India, and then he went back to Oz, and then he decided to pack it in and retire. And now he's just having a bit of a giggle as a manager, and I think just seeing what he can do. But there's a part of me, every fiber of my being wants this man to succeed as a manager. It would be so funny just to see him like win everything in the UAE, win the Asian Champions Cup, and then come back to Europe. And it would be so funny because obviously all of the Big Six fans think Lampard and Gerrard. Imagine if Stephen Taylor comes back to Europe and is half good as
well, as Toon Gamer puts here, Alex, the team was actually made from scratch on TikTok.
Oh, it's just amazing.
That's what makes it even more bizarre. But
you can't even find them on like FOTMob or anything because they're just, you have to do extra Googling because there's just not enough information on them. It's so funny.
Yeah,
so less of a bit of shaming, but a bit of also it's just hilarious because I think he's just taking people for whatever he can get at the moment, and I hope he's successful with it because it's funny.
He looks hot. I meant hot as in temperature, not as in looking. But he looks hot in that.
No.
I mean, he did have a touch.
Hey, it's look at that.
In his place, to stand in front of goalkeepers from free kicks and get and pull faces at them.
That was absolutely sensational. That one when he looked like he got shot. Anyway, I'm going to start calling him Christian Bale. Would you just hang on a little bit while we investigate some Friday beef? I'll take that as a yes. It is now time for this, ladies and gentlemen, and it's had a little bit of a revamp, the intro to this, but it's now time for this. Here's Billy.
Oh, man.
It is indeed time for Billy's beef. Take it away, Billy.
So, you all right, mate?
I've already seen it once.
Yeah, well, he hasn't seen what's coming next week for Shane by Stato. There's a new intro for that coming. Take it away, Billy.
Yeah, I want to talk about, well, after the show last night, myself and Stato watched the Lille versus Aston Villa game and the actions and the actual shithousery of the Villa goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, who'd been booked while 2-0 down and going out of Europe for time wasting, strangely enough. You know, it's a real strange time to get booked for time wasting for. But
excuse me for butting in. He's a twat.
100%.
Simple as that.
100%.
Sorry.
And then the penalty shootout came. He saved one and he was shushing the crowd and he got a second yellow card. And for some reason, they allowed him to carry on with the rest of the penalty shootout. I don't know why.
It is the rule.
2 yellow cards.
I looked at it.
Yeah, it's a mental rule, though. He's got 2 yellow cards in the game for me. He shouldn't have been able to go in the nets. But it's not the first time we've seen him act like an actual cock, is it? I mean, he did it in the World Cup. He won the tournament, and his behaviour was deplorable. You know, the children watching, supposed to be role models, this, that, and the other. The man's an absolute arse, and he's one of the reasons, actually, why I don't want Aston Villa to make the top 5 or top 4, because he is an absolute dick, and he's getting Billy's beef this week. I mean, it was awful behaviour last night. Kids crying at the end, and he was laughing at him. Absolutely
says it all. Says it all. Well, there you go. That is Billy's beef for this week as well. Now, Mr. Bradley.
Hello.
I have no idea what you're about to say about this Sunderland thing, but Sam was going to tell me, but I told her not to because I want to be like the viewers and have no idea what you're going to say here. So, what is this mysterious Sunderland story? Take it away.
Right. Bear in mind, this is back in 95 or whatever. I'm a bricklayer, and we had a job, came in, working at this stadium of shite. Do we take it? It's just like, we're all Newcastle fans. It's a tough thing to say. The money was good, so we took the job. So the first issue that we came across was we were building block walls, and they were stupid enough to use black mortar, like sand cement and all the rest of it, to build the blockwork walls up. So as we got up to the underside of the stand where the seats come across, our squad decided it would be a good idea to put Toon Army across the top, scraping mortar across the underside of the stand, which was going to be seen. Nobody's going to see it until Bob Murray, the chairman of Sunderland at the football at that time, decided to have the press opening, the big switch on, all the rest of it. Switch the lights on. What happened? Toon Army across the top. Not good. Not good. We got a verbal warning at that point there. It was just like, yeah, okay, you've done your stuff. Anyway, down the line, when they started putting the seats, you know, the crest in the seats and across the other side of the stand, I thought, right, I'll go to this is before mobile phone and all the rest of it. So I took my proper camera and I had photographs taken of myself with my Toon top on, with the Sunderland crest in the seats over there. Yeah, fair enough. I sent it to the mag. Can you remember the mag?
Yeah.
Fanzine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sent it to them. They put it in a full screen, full page, set out. Yeah. That I took it into the ground the next day. It showed the site agent who was a Newcastle fan. He says, "Oh, he says, can I take a photocopy of that?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." Oh, he put it on his wall in his office. Somebody from Sunderland Football Club came in, saw it. He says, "What the hell's that?" He said, "Oh, just one of the lads taking a photograph of himself with a Newcastle shirt on and all the rest of it." Right. He has got to be off site in 10 seconds. It's like, what? What's going on here? Obviously, my boss came up and said, "Look, you got to get off site." So I got off site straight away. Apparently, there was supposed to be signs all over saying you weren't supposed to be able to take photographs of yourself and all that. That's bollocks. It wasn't. So I went to the Chronicle, told the story. Within half an hour and a half, 2 hours, I was back over to the ground with me trowel and me level, looking really sad because I'd been sacked from the stadium. It's the best thing that ever happened to us, honestly.
You know what? That is quality. That is quality. I mean, to have.
Better.
Oh God, keep going.
Jesus, Dad.
Oh, Sam, tell us when to stop, because you know what I'm like. I just keep going and going.
Keep going.
Keep going, by all means.
No, honestly. So I rang the Chronicle. Hey, this is what's happened. The lad's been sacked for having a photograph taken and all the rest of it. Right, okay. Yeah, that's great. He says, but what happened when you were sent off site? I says, well, I was sent to Berwick. Hey, no offense to Berwick, but not the best place. And I was in a caravan with a lad who his personal hygiene wasn't the best in the world. if you know what I mean. And I had to
I think we get the idea.
just because the Mac and bastards attacked me for.
So that's how they got you back, for putting you in with a stinker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
Jesus Christ. By the way, Jam Stashes says, come on, if you're going to wear such a glorious stash, you've got to twirl the ends of it like a scheming villain.
Oh, it's too long to do all that sort of stuff. It's like down here. It's massive. Oh, excuse me for saying that.
And the touch.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, you heard that, Sam. You heard that loud and clear. You heard it loud and clear.
Can I just say, this shirt here is a 1920s Newcastle United shirt.
Retro, yeah.
It wasn't the stripes, it was the V.
Yeah, the V, yeah.
Pretty cool shirt.
Jesus. I mean, you're looking good for your age, I have to say. And to be fair, I mean, you know, wearing that and then sort of.
How old do you think I am?
Did you play in that? Did you play in that, Mr. Bradley?
Anyway, before we let you go, Ian, do you want to take part in the quiz? Do you want to see if you can win a prize?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Why?
I'm just shite. I tell you what.
You're the best, Dad. You're the best.
Can any of you lads remember a player, Dave McCreary?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Back in the day, he wasn't the best, most skillful player, but he gave 110% every single game. I was brought up in Malcolm McDonald. He's another story. Sam, just tell us to shut up, right? I can go on for hours. Honestly, when my dad used to take us to the match, and this was back in the day, and my dad was a policeman, and because he was a policeman, we would get entry into the ground because my dad was supposed to be, if there was a problem, he would sort it out. But anyway, I would used to take a big wooden box into the ground at the Leazer's end, and I would stand on the box in front of the barrier to make sure I didn't get crushed or whatever when it all happened. It was just like, wow, glory days. This is what I remember about St. James Park. I had a season ticket for 11 years. Am I born yet?
No.
I had a season ticket for 11 years. And after 5 years, I moved down to London, and I was traveling from London to Newcastle to watch the match, and obviously to see the wonderful Samantha as well. And do you know what? I really lost interest in Newcastle because of, can I say players' names and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Tony Cunningham, George Riley. They're all going to come out, aren't
they? Bellamy.
Oh, after that, yeah.
And I've got a flat in Sandyford and all the rest of it, but you'd go along to Osborne Road in Jesmond, and all these players would rock up with posh cars and stuff, and just pull up along the side of the road and block the road, and police would come along and they'd, am I speaking out of turn here?
Depends what you say.
Keep going.
Tell us and I'll tell you.
It's just players seem to get ahead of themselves and stuff, and abuse their
Position.
their status and stuff.
Bellamy, especially.
Kieran Dyer was the worst, wasn't he?
Man.
Have you
Some
heard
of the
that story
stories
that
I could
came
tell
out
you.
from John Anarisa today? Well, it was a few days ago.
With the golf club.
With the golf club. Yeah, he did a podcast and he told a story about Bellamy. He had a bit of a tiff with Bellamy about not doing karaoke. And Bellamy turned up in his room with a golf club and wanted to beat him.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Famous
nuts.
story. That's
Absolutely nuts. I've not heard of that before.
Publicised at the time, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
well, listen,
sorry to bring the conversation down and stuff, but it's just
you haven't
it's one of
at
them,
all.
You know what I mean?
It's been lovely to have you on, Ian. It's been absolutely class. Thank you very much for making an appearance, and obviously the Tash as well. Very, very much appreciated, and you're welcome on any time, especially if you start embarrassing Sam. That would be a joyous thing to behold. So thank you very much for coming on. I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Cool. Cheers.
Take care. Good night.
Cheers, everybody. See you later.
Good night.
Top man, Sam. Honestly,
he's a cool guy, right? We'll talk next time about him maybe not burying a Toon top in the Stadium of Shite.
God, there's even more he's done to that ground. Bloody hell!
There is. He's desecrated it.
There's Bradley stuff all over the Stadium of Light. Yeah, they have.
Did he do anything with the bar in the Newcastle end of the cup tie?
Well, yeah, he could possibly, yeah. Right, it's now time for this one. Hiya! It is now, of course, time for the tickle in the time bomb.
Alex.
By the way, thank you, Andy C83, for your super chat. Love the channel, guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. That's your first ever super chat on the channel. I do appreciate that. Sorry?
I always forget it's coming. I'm never ready for it.
Yeah, you just will.
I don't think we'll ever be prepared for it, Alex.
Absolutely not. It's like a anyway. Right, my little anger this week is Eni Aluko. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen what she put out. That she's well, she says that as a woman, and she's apparently speaking for many women, they feel unsafe in football stadiums. Now, this isn't the first time that Aluko has made crazy statements and tried to be in the spotlight. But obviously she's doing it again. And to say that she's been completely overrun with people jumping on her, women, by the way, saying that it's a pathetic thing to say, is brilliant to watch. It's brilliant to read how many women are actually coming on saying, well, I've been to going to a certain ground for 15, 20 years and I've never felt unsafe in a football ground. To come out and say that is pretty pathetic because, I don't think, especially in England, in the Premier League or anywhere you go, I think, 99% of the grounds, you all feel safe. When I go to St. James's, there's literally thousands of women in the ground, and I can guarantee you that not one of them feels unsafe. It's unbelievable. And I just think Aluko, once again, is just trying to jump on a bandwagon to stay relative to people. I don't know why you would come out and say that. It's a pathetic thing to say. You don't hear about anything happening to women in football grounds. You just don't. And the fact is that it's mainly men, young kids fighting other kids. It's after football, when you go out of the ground, there's always that. You get away fans hitting home fans and things like that. You don't get women feeling unsafe in football grounds. And I think it's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard in my life to come out and say that. And the fact is, it's been backed up by the thousands of replies she's had saying what a pathetic thing she said, that and all from women as well, saying that they do not feel unsafe in football grounds. It's just absolutely stupid. But there you go. That is it. Now, to finish off the show this week, we don't have an intro for it yet, but I'll try and do the best I can. It's time for Billy's bedtime story.
Right.
We'll come up with a better one than that, Billy. But there you go. Take it
Please
away,
do.
Billy.
Fantastic. Yeah, let's have something better than that. Let's have. Anything.
Oh, piss off! I'm trying to do my best here, right?
Anything better.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know why I have views on the channel. I really don't. The abuse.
I'm going to take you back to when I was, I'm going to say 18, maybe 19.
Oh God.
And I was walking, not far from Coventry City's football stadium, actually, Highfield Road, just around the corner. Summer's day. Yes, it was built. Yes, it was. Yeah, it wasn't far from closing down, actually. Well, another 20 or so years. But still, I digress. Really hot day. Was very, very thirsty. Had 10p in my pocket. That wasn't even in them days. That was enough for a can of pop. So I went into this shop that was not far from Coventry Stadium and saw peaches outside. So I went in and said, "How much are peaches?" And the man said, 10p. I said, "Fantastic. I'll take. Here's the money. I'll take one." He'll say, "No. I've got one here for you. Have that one." I said, "Fine." Bit into it, and it was mouldy, absolutely mouldy. I says, "Let me pick my own." He says, "No. Yeah, that's the one you're having." I said, "Well, come on, look at it. You know, it's rotten." He says, "Well, that's just the look of the drawer." He says, "You've lost your money, basically." So he really was cocky with it as well. So I got really, really annoyed with it. So what I did, I went up to his counters, and there was a bottle of Domestos there. Squirted it all over the peaches outside, and said, "There's your 10p, stuck up your ass," and walked off. 50 yards down the road, not even 50 yards, maybe 45, 40 yards. Blue lights, and a jam sandwich pulls up beside me, and the policeman gets out of the car and charges me there and then.
Charges you with what?
Bleach of the peach. Ah, dear me.
Oh, it was worth waiting for.
I'll get me coat.
Oh,
He's not heard that before.
Bleach of the peach. My God, Billy. Christ's sake. Oh, my God. Davey Telford says Billy needs a light piano track when he does this bit, like the old radio stuff when they would read listeners' letters.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, like the Love in the Afternoon one, Billy.
Yeah, our tune.
Yeah. Oh, I could go on all night with that. But there you go, guys. A nice little Billy story to finish the night off.
Quiz.
Oh, bollocks. Do we have to? Of course we do. Yeah, but of course it's ladies first. So, Sam? Now, this is when the actual league table starts, I do believe. Billy's keeping the league table on this. So let's see how this goes.
Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a point for each one you get, so it's easy. And if you don't get any, I will pass them over to other people. So, here we go. First one, and I'm going to start off nice and easy for Sam. I'm going to ask for... Not that one, that's really hard, that one. Christ, even I wouldn't have got that one.
That'll be for me then.
Right. This one's quite easy.
Sam looks terrified, by the way. She looks terrified. It's only a bit of fun, man.
Bring it.
Just have a think. I will give you a point for each one you get within the 10 seconds. So I want 3 players in 10 seconds that have played for Newcastle United and Real Madrid. Off you go.
Oh, Jesus. Trips.
No, Real Madrid, not have that go.
Why'd you go blank? Come on.
10 seconds up.
For God's sake.
Anybody?
Woodgate, Michael Owen.
Hello, Michael Owen.
I thought it was this season, man. Wait.
Oh, Sam, this
We need
season.
more context. We need more context, please.
Right, so Paul gets 2. Alex can have 2 as well.
Why is Alex getting 2?
Because you said Owen at the same time as
Well,
you
I
said
thought
it.
you said he was going to get
I said Owen way before Alex did.
but Billy said he was going to pass it along, and then it just became a free-for-all. Like, we've got to pick a lane, guys.
So you've got 3. There's only been 4 players. Anyone can name the other one, I'll give him another point.
Ooh,
4.
Woodgate, Hosselu, and
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen. So a 4.
So there's a 4th.
There's a 4th.
Trying to think of some random players that might have. Marino
Bloody
wasn't in their
hell.
academy, was he? No.
No.
He's not Spanish
Santiago Munoz.
or even
I mean,
English.
it's technically true.
He's not even English. The bloke I'm talking about.
Where's he from?
I'm just repeating what Judy J put in the chat there. I've got no idea.
He's from Cameroon.
Cameroon. Babiaro.
Nope.
Bollocks.
He's from Nigeria anyway.
Well, thanks, Billy.
Same first name as Corbyn. Quick.
Jeremy.
Jeremy. Oh,
No, we haven't
Alex
got a
gets
Frimpong.
I was thinking of a surname. It is Jeremy. Is it Jeremy's his surname, Alex? You're looking for the first.
Oh, with a G. It's Jeremy with a G. It was that
Yes.
guy. Oh, God. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can see this is going well. It's not Samuel Eto'o Solomon. Jesus Christ.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God.
Right. So then,
Alex.
Now then, we're going to Stato now. And I want, in 10 seconds, 3 midfielders that have played for Newcastle United and Liverpool. Go.
Oh, God. Mind blank. Milner.
1.
Uh,
10 seconds are up. I'll pass it over, but don't shout out. Just put your hand up and I'll come to you. Paul.
Beardsley.
No, not a midfielder. Forward.
Guys, don't put any answers in the chat, please, until the question's over.
oh, God.
Diddy Haman.
Yes. Sam, can you think of one? Bald head.
No.
John Joe Shelby.
You're too late, Sato. You've had your 10 seconds.
Damn it.
Quickly, Sam, say John Joe Shelby. I'll give you a point.
No, that's cheating. I'm a woman of ethics. No.
Okay,
I know as well. Of course it was.
you're from nowhere near Essex. What are you on about? There's one more.
Wijnaldum. John Barnes.
No, there's one more that played for us in the Championship season in 2009.
Oh, damn, Danny Guthrie.
Yes.
Yes, come on.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
I
Absolutely.
always get him and Gosling mixed up because Gosling was Everton and Guthrie was Liverpool.
He was indeed.
Bosh is what I'm saying to that.
Right, Paul, for you,
Oh, Christ.
I want 3 defenders that have played for Newcastle United and Fulham. Go.
Alan Goma.
Yeah.
Well, what's his name? The useless fucker that played for us.
A few of them.
No, what's his name, man?
10 seconds up.
Aaron Hughes.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Don't know. Did Sol Campbell get a funny appearance for him?
No, I can see the bloke. I just can't think of his name.
There's 2 in the current squad at Newcastle, strange enough.
Longstaff.
Has Dan Burn played for Fulham? Dan
Yeah.
Burn.
Was Longstaff one?
No.
Longstaff's
Defenders.
homegrown.
Still at the club. Not Trippier's not played for Fulham, has he? No.
No.
Sells was at Forest.
He's at the club now.
Yeah.
Lewis Hall hasn't played for him. Livramento has not played for them.
I'll pick you out of your misery. You could have had Philippe Albert. You could have had Matt Target.
Matt Target.
Matt Target.
You could have had Alan Hughes. You could have had Alan Nielsen. There's all the defenders.
Hey, what about the Alan Goma one though? That was. Hey, I'll tell you what a cracking answer. I'll big myself up on that one.
Babu as well, of course.
And
Kevin
Babu, yes.
Yeah.
Don't
Bloody
break your arm patting yourself on the back there, Paul.
Sam, can I ask you a question? Have I
You're gonna
offended you
anyway.
in some way this week? Judging by the sheer abuse that I've taken from you on this show tonight. I don't like you on a Friday, right? You are mean on a Friday.
Don't worry, Sam. He's like
it's
this
the
every
wine.
Friday.
It's the wine.
No, it's not the wine. It's not you. It's Paul. We all do.
Oh, it's Paul, right?
It
Okay.
is
It's not just me.
Paul at all. It is the abuse of my co-host on a Friday night is getting just out of hand. It is getting out of hand.
Are we having another round or are we going to end it there?
What's the score technically?
It's Paul on 6, Alex on 5, And Sam yet to break her duck.
Well,
No.
I guess we have another round then, because Paul just can't win. So
Well, it's an ongoing league table, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, go on. We said we'd do two
so
rounds.
Paul's at the
two
top because
rounds.
of that generous after the 10-second answer. Yeah, it's like the top 6 all over again.
Sam, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to try and give you an easy one to get you off the mark.
VAR, please. Billy.
I'm rubbish, man. Now it's easy, but go ahead.
That's a laugh, man.
I like to have a go. I like
as
a go.
long as I win.
These ain't easy, to be fair. So I'll give you these ones to this one, which is
Pepsi up my nose. Oh!
Who does he play for?
Real Sociedad, I think.
Right, Sam.
Oh my God! My
three
glasses,
players.
I can't see.
Quick, do Paul's round now because you can't answer.
Oh,
Yeah, Paul.
God.
3 players that play for Newcastle United.
Shut up! It's Sam's goal.
I couldn't hear for Paul whinging on.
Right,
Got Pepsi all over me, man. It's up my nose and everywhere. It's singeing my nasal passage.
You're
I'm
not
not
going to
daft.
melt. Settle down.
I am melting. Shut up. Get on with it.
Right, Sam. 3 players, and there's a list here of 3, 6, 9, 12 you could have. 3 players that play for Newcastle United and Champions League semi-finalists and former adversaries of ours, Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh,
Go.
fuck's sake. Sorry.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm shit. Sorry.
Can we go?
Yeah, go.
I didn't hear the question.
Kabay and Ben
seconds.
Arthur is 2.
Goodbye and Ben Arthur is 2.
Oh, well, it would have been nice to have heard the
Newcastle,
question.
Paris
You know,
Saint-Germain. Paul.
Newcastle PSG.
any position.
Yeah, anyway.
Did Robert play for PSG?
Robert did, yes.
He did.
There you
Oh,
go.
damn you. Damn you, Alex.
Come on, Paul, there's loads more.
Is there?
Yeah.
Flaming hell.
Remy Kabay ever play for them?
No.
No. You've got
Bloody hell.
Okay, that'll do.
Wijnaldum, Ginola.
Well done. Are you on the computer?
people.
No,
have
I'm
started
reading the
sending
chat,
though.
guys. I'm not taking credit for those 2 answers.
Right, you could have had Habib Bey. You could have had Sylvain Distin. You could have had Ginola. You could have had Alan Goma. You could have had Halder. Fabrice Pancrat.
Oh,
David Rosenal. Christ, I've had some shit there, haven't they?
God, you're scraping the barrel there, Billy.
So there you go. That's PSG.
did that striker not play for them as well? But I can't think of his name. You know, he came to us after the World Cup. Remember what was his name?
Givash. No.
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 Okay.
No, he didn't.
Come on, then, Alex. Cheat.
Stato, for you, I'm going to give you. Strangely enough, it's another kind of European kind of team that we've played. So 3 players have played for Newcastle United and AC Milan. Off you go.
Tonali.
One.
Oh, Santon, who did I don't think played for Milan.
Nope.
He went to Roma and he was at Inter. You've got AC.
10 seconds.
Dunno.
Pistoni.
Nope.
Christ.
Sam, think of a curly-haired captain.
Oh.
Argentinian.
Yeah. God, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'd let him shag my wife. Think of the song.
Colaccini played for AC
Oh,
Milan.
Colaccini.
Shut up. Yeah, Colaccini.
John Dahl Thomason.
Yes. Are you in the chat again?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Stop putting answers in the chat, man. It's Jesus.
Right. You could have had John Dahl Thomason. You could
Yes.
have had Oguchi Onyewu.
Who?
Oguchi Onyewu, the American centre half that played for us. I think he played for us
Oh, what unaware? Sorry.
10 occasions. Oguchi Onyewu.
What?
I thought you were talking about the Gooch bit, not the second bit.
Billy! It's not watershed yet.
John Dahl Thomason has been mentioned, Colaccini, and Andres Anderson.
Oh, my God.
That was a hard one. That was a
And
really hard
Patrick
one.
Kluivert.
Yeah, somebody put that in the chat. Though.
Yeah.
So, Last one of the night.
That was it, wasn't it?
No, Paul hasn't had his yet, has he?
I haven't had mine yet. Just
Right.
look at him trying to keep the win. Shocking.
3 players
Oh,
that
God.
played for Newcastle United, and there's a list of
Wellington
5.
Phoenix.
And Atletico Madrid. Off you go.
Kieran Trippier.
1.
God. Nah,
10 seconds.
it's gone.
Anybody?
Oh, there's nobody in recent time, is there?
Sam, think of a curly-haired captain, Argentinian. Say his name.
Quick, say his name.
Yeah, Sam's got a point. Albert Luque.
God.
No.
That's
not
it.
No.
Argentinian.
Manquillo.
Manquillo.
Manquillo's 1. Yeah.
Hosselu.
No, you could have Jesus Gamez.
Oh my God! Yes, the fantastic left back that was.
And you could
Jesus.
have had
Shite.
the not very politically correct Emre Belözoğlu.
Emre
Belözoğlu. Yeah.
Right. So what's the points? What's the points at the end of play tonight, Billy, in the league
I'm giving
table?
Sam 2 points for both Colaccini answers.
Oh, please don't. I gotta take the shape.
Alex has got 9 and Paul has 7 after 1 week. So well done, folks.
No, Alex, don't be putting chats up, or I will fire you. Right?
What
That
Julie says is up to Julie.
is wrong, and I've admitted to the ones I answered from the chat, and I didn't get any points from them.
Yeah, I didn't score them, no.
Exactly. So being the wise and honest man I am of this channel, I have admitted. Would you like to come back with anything, Sam, before we go over for that comment? Just get one last knife in the back.
Would you like one?
No.
Right.
Let's move on.
Then.
Thank you. But there you go. TTR Friday done for another week, guys. Hope you've had an absolute belter of a show. We certainly have. Thank you to everybody that's joined us live. Thank you for all your participation tonight. We will have some new jingles next week, especially for Alex, and I'm going to make sure that one is the most embarrassing one we can possibly do for him.
Probably already is. It's fine.
Well, it's up there, but it can be even better. And of course, Billy's stories will get one for that as well. People seem to like the ninja one for me. I don't know why. But there you go. But thank you for your super chats, memberships, etc. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Alex, Billy, and of course, Lady Sam. And head across now to PD Proudlock's channel for his Friday football show. And we're not sure what's coming up over the weekend yet, but keep an eye on all the socials and you will find out when the next show is. But until then, have a smashing weekend, guys. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out the green.